Hello and welcome to For Luxury Travel. Today, we will tell you about the top 10 things to do in New York City. Even if the city's towering skyscrapers and monuments do not captivate you, the city's thriving arts, food, fashion, and nightlife scenes can. You can spend your morning browsing Fifth Avenue's designer racks and your afternoon taking in breathtaking views of the city from the top of the Rock observation deck or a helicopter. Alternatively, if you're an art lover, you should visit the Met and the Guggenheim to see the striking works on show before dining on ethnic cuisine in Chinatown or Little Italy. If you still have some vitality left, don't miss out on tickets to an award-winning Broadway performance, or a visit to one of the meatpacking district's low-key rooftop bars and jazz clubs after dark. Before we start, go ahead and subscribe. Also, press the bell button to get the latest updates. Without any further delay, let's start. In the list of the top 10 things to do in New York City, at number 10 we have Central Park. The Guggenheim, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and the American Museum of Natural History, to name a few, are all located next to or within the boundaries of this Park Museum, Park Concert Hall that swallows central Manhattan. Travellers, on the other hand, argue that you shouldn't just drive through Central Park on your way somewhere else. This 843-acre green space is a favourite of locals and visitors alike. You can exercise, eat, visit the zoo, and more here. Almost everyone likes the park, but no one has had the same experience or suggests doing the same thing. There are 20 playgrounds, 48 fountains, monuments or sculptures, and 36 bridges among the almost impossible number of sights to see here. Next on the list at number 9, we have the American Museum of Natural History. The American Museum of Natural History, located on Central Park West, is a popular destination for visitors. User reviews have a common theme, whether you're visiting immersive exhibits on land, sea, or in space. This museum is fantastic. The cafeteria and gift shop are both worth a look too. Don't expect to see everything in one day, because there are approximately 32 million pieces spread over 4 city blocks, 25 buildings, and 45 exhibition halls. The Rose Center for Earth and Space is a particular favourite, but the dinosaurs, the Hall of the Universe, and the Butterfly Conservatory are all worth seeing. The American Museum of Natural History is still busy, but if you go on a weekday in late winter or early spring, you'll see less people. It's open every day from 10 a.m. to 5:45 p.m. and is known for its suggested entry rates of $23 for adults, $18 for seniors and students with ID, and $13 for children aged 2 to 12. Next on the list at number 8, we have Rockefeller Center and Top of the Rock observation deck. Beautiful sculptures, an expansive ice rink, a fishbowl view of NBC studios, and a slew of shops and restaurants are found in this famous plaza. There will certainly be large crowds. This is an experience that should be had at least once. The plaza sparkles with an illuminated Christmas tree and skaters gliding around the ice rink during the winter holidays. But don't worry if your trip to New York isn't planned during the winter. There is plenty to do all year. You can spend a morning seeing a taping of the Today Show, an afternoon admiring the city from the Top of the Rock observation deck, and an evening seeing a show at Radio City Music Hall if you plan ahead. Next on the list at number 7, we have St. Patrick's Cathedral. This colossal cathedral stands amid the hustle and bustle of Rockefeller Center, which is distinctly secular. But it doesn't change the fact that it has an otherworldly feel to it. You cannot help but be fascinated by St. Patrick's, whether you're religious or just on an architectural pilgrimage. Travellers praise the small historical church's beauty and stained glass windows, but say that seeing it does not require too much time. Previous visitors recommend going to the church during the Christmas season to see the church in all its splendour. Next on the list at number 6, we have Bryant Park. Bryant Park, just south of Times Square, is home to some of Manhattan's most stunning 4 acres. Bryant Park was a 1990s revitalization project that turned it into a haven for locals and visitors alike. despite the fact that it had been a lush green space for more than 150 years. This is where Midtown Manhattan professionals come to eat lunch, where fashionistas strut during Fashion Week, and where performers show off their skills during Broadway in Bryant Park and Piano in the Park. Bryant Park does not need a scheduled event. You can simply come here and take in the scenery, or use the free Wi-Fi. Next on the list at number 5, we have Metropolitan Museum of Art. The Metropolitan Museum of Art is the most famous museum in the United States. The Metropolitan Museum of Art, brimming with masterpieces from around the world, including notable exhibits from ancient Egypt and classical antiquity, is an art experience unlike any other. And, like most of New York, it's difficult to see all the museum has to offer in one day, let alone 2. If you've never been, you should certainly pay a visit to the museum's permanent collections. If you've already been to the Met, schedule your next visit around the Costume Institute's semi-annual exhibitions, or visit the Met Cloisters, an offshoot museum devoted to medieval Europe's art and architecture in Fort Tyrone Park. Next on the list at number 4, we have National September 11th Memorial and Museum. The National September 11th Memorial and Museum is the main memorial to the almost 3,000 people killed in the terrorist attacks of 2001, as well as the 6 people killed in the 1993 bombing, where the World Trade Center's Twin Towers once stood. The memorial's twin reflecting pools and man-made waterfalls serve as eerie footprints. The 1-acre pools are surrounded by bronze panels with the names of each victim etched onto them. The museum covers 110,000 square feet and uses digital exhibits, real-time videos, authentic objects, and an interactive table to tell the story of the attacks. Next on the list at number 3, we have Grand Central Terminal. You can eat lunch or shop until you drop at this lovely train station, but recent visitors preferred to simply take in the scenery. Take a few photos of the ornate Beaux Arts neoclassical architecture outside before entering. Glistening marble floors, gold and nickel-plated chandeliers, and a sky-themed ceiling greet you inside the famous main concourse. Visit the New York Transit Museum store in the shuttle passage if you want a train-themed souvenir. Travellers describe the train station as iconic and claim it's a lovely place to stroll around or catch a bite to eat while people watching. Next on the list at number 2, we have the Empire State Building. You must stop by this iconic building in Midtown Manhattan, according to New York City Tourist 101. Despite the high ticket prices, large crowds, and long queues, recent tourists say you won't be disappointed. In reality, a ride to the top of the Empire State Building is a great way to start or end your trip to the Big Apple, as you'll be able to see the city's major attractions from 1,050 feet below you on a clear day. Pick up a multimedia tour, which is available in 8 languages and takes guests around the icon's exhibits and views while also providing historical context. Finally, on the list at number 1 we have the Statue of Liberty. Visitors flock to this brightly shining beacon all year. So let's talk to you about your choices for visiting. The most common method entails waiting at least 90 minutes for a ferry to transport you from Battery Park in Lower Manhattan to Liberty Island's statue, then stopping at Ellis Island before returning to the mainland. Although the first boat of the day departs at 9 AM and the last boat departs at 3:30 PM, almost all passengers complain about lengthy, disorganised queues and security checks, in addition to the $18.50 ferry fee for such a short ride. That is all for today, folks. Tell us in the comments section what is your point of view about these places. See you soon with another amazing video.